Hello everybody. Today I would like to give you an introduction and overview about the new Oracle database release model and also the patching model. My name is Mike Dietrich. I'm the Master Product Manager for database upgrades and migrations in Oracle. So my role is I act as an interlink between customers and development. I work with customers in reference projects, and on a regular basis I go to conferences and talk about upgrade migration projects, best practices, and so on. If you'd like to get more information about upgrades and migrations generally, please visit the upgrade blog as you can see in the slide, https://MikeDietrichDE.com. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is MikeDietrichDE. So talking about the new release model means, first of all, what you'll recognize is we changed the release numbering. So before we had release 1 and 2, and now we changed to yearly release numbers and full releases each year. So we start in 2018, that's why we have release 18 coming now, and then next year it will be 19, afterwards 20, and so on. So for me, the very good news is there's no first and second releases anymore, and therefore no discussions about should I go live on the first or the second release, because it's more honest to say we have a yearly release, it's a full release. It's not a patch set anymore, there are no patch sets. It's a full release and you don't have to differ between first and second releases anymore. When we look a bit closer about the lifetime support commitments and plans, you'll see that Oracle 11.2 is already out of Premier support for quite a while. At the moment, as I'm speaking here, we are in the waived extended support period. Means we are in extended support, which is usually an extra cost thing, which costs 10% of your support revenue in the first year, and second and all following years 20% on top. But when we waive it, as we do right now for 11.2 in mid-2018, that means you don't pay extra. And in this period we fix, of course, critical issues, we fix severe bugs, and we also, of course, deliver security fixes and the regular patch bundles. In 11.2 this is PSUs and bundle patches. Also in Oracle 12.1 we just left the period of Premier support. We are now in extended support since 1st of July 2018. It is waived for 1 year now as well. That means no extra cost for anybody. But you recognize that also for 11.2 and for 12.102, the extended support periods, the waived extended support periods, are ending pretty soon. By the way, for 11.2, the important thing is the waived extended support applies to only 11.204. Not to 11.203 or any other 11.2 release. And the same for 12.1, it applies to 12.102 only. Then we have 12.201, that's the release which is on premises available and in the Oracle Cloud right now. And in the Oracle Cloud and on engineered systems you can have Oracle 18 on premises is coming soon, and I'll talk later a little bit about that. And I go more into details in the next slides. So a few clarifications are necessary. First of all, Oracle 18 and 19 are part of the 12.2 release family, which started with 12.201, but then we change it. So 12.202 is not there because it's simply called now Oracle 18, and 12.203 is Oracle 19. The things we called previously patch sets. The patching end date for Oracle 12.201 will be determined once Oracle 18 is released on premises, generally on all platforms. Next clarification, as soon as Oracle 18 is released on premises on all platforms, we determine the support period for 12.2.1 for the previous release. And at least we guarantee 2 years of Premier support for this release. And all following releases. So that means if you go further into the future, Oracle 19 gets released, and then we determine the support period for Oracle 18, but we'll guarantee at least 2 years of support for Oracle 18 from the day on Oracle 19, the following release, has been released. This applies, as I said, to on-premises. It doesn't take into account when we release in the cloud or on engineered systems. And then there will be right now a long-term support release. This will be Oracle 19. So this is the release where you can add extended support on top, the red bar here. And please always check My Oracle Support Note 742060.1 for the details on this. Now when we talk about the new release numbering and the patching, the future is already here. We changed to a 3-number format, which is split up into year, update number, revision number. That means 1810 is year 18, the release 18, with the first update 1 and no revision included, 1810. How did patching before Oracle Database 12.2 look like? So we had patch set updates, PSUs, and bundle patches, BPs. So you had a base release, and then you could decide if you would like to go forward with PSUs, which a lot of customers did actually, which means security fixes and basically regression fixes. And regression fix, for instance, is a fix for a corruption or a wrong result bug. And a quarter later, you could apply the next PSU. PSUs were cumulative, so when you took only PSU 2 in my slide here, you got immediately also the fixes from PSU 1 and, in addition, the new security fixes and the new regression fixes for this quarter. At the same time, you could choose to go forward with bundle patches, which we recommended since Oracle 12.1. The bundle patches, in addition to security fixes and regression fixes, the content of the PSUs, included also optimizer fixes, which may change the behavior, and that's why, since a certain bundle patch, we turn them off by default. And also functional fixes, which means a functional enhancement, but not a new feature or something like that. And a quarter later, you had a chance to take the next bundle patch, and they were also, of course, cumulative. So you had the previous contents plus the new security, the new regression fixes, and potentially also new optimizer fixes by default off, and potentially, which is a very rare thing, functional fixes in addition. So you had a choice between PSUs and bundle patches. Unfortunately, changing from one track to another is not so trivial. That's why a lot of people stayed with PSUs, but PSUs have a significant lower number of fixes. That's why also we learned over time that customers with PSUs add a lot of one-off fixes on top. And as they are not included regularly on the next PSU, you have to request them over and over again. For Oracle 11.2, there was not really a chance unless you were on engineered systems, because then you had to go forward with the PSUs. But this has been changed since 12.1. Now, how does the picture in Oracle, or since Oracle 12.2 and also in the future? We change now to updates RUs and revisions RURs. So we have the base release again, and then a quarter later you can add an update. And now from the contents of the update 1 you see there is no PSUs anymore. The update 1 is basically the same thing as we called bundle patches before. So we have security and regression fixes included, and also optimizer fixes if their behavior changing by default off, and potentially functional fixes. But in the functional fix case, we also document that this is mainly tailored for the Oracle Cloud, so you won't see many in regular updates. A quarter later, and a quarter 2, you can add the next update, release update, and this includes update 1 plus the new regression, security fixes, and potentially optimizer fixes, and potentially new functional fixes. And they are cumulative as the bundles were before as well. But in the same quarter 2, you could also choose now to apply a revision. And the revision contains update 1 from quarter 1 plus only new security and new regression fixes. And when we go forward in quarter 3 now, you have a revision 2, which means it's still based on update 1, so 6 months old, and adds the new security fixes from the past quarter, plus the new security fixes from the recent quarter, or the current quarter. And also the same applies to regression fixes. In quarter 3, you find also the revision 1 now for update 2. This is released at the same time when the revision 2 for update 1 gets released, and also, which is not on the slide here, at the same time when update 3 gets released. So you see how the schema, the patching go forward works actually. And you have here also the choice of updates and revisions, but they are not the same thing as PSUs. So think of them like bundle patches, with the next bundle patch containing only security fixes and extra, and revisions in regression fixes and extra. And I'll give you a recommendation later on what we recommend you to go forward with. And it's not only us actually. So first of all, for me the good news is there's no PSUs anymore, and as I said before, my experience is customers with PSUs end up with a lot of one-off fixes, whereas if you would go forward with bundle patches, that made your life much easier. So we don't have this choice anymore, less variety, which is actually a very good thing. Now the release itself is called 18C, so Oracle Database 18C. The production release, which got released in the Oracle Cloud on engineered systems, is 18.10, so it included already the first update. And then update 18.20 is the first public available update, and the first revision will be 18.21. So when we look at the release numbering, you see 18.10, update 1 included already, update 2, 18.20, update 3, 18.30, update 4, 18.40, or when you branch out into the revision branches, then it's 18.21, 18.22, or 18.41, 18.42. So basically, again, good news for me here, the version number reflects the patch level now, which makes my life personally much easier, because if you discuss your upgrade or your migration strategy, and I need to know exactly in which patch level you are, I see this now just by having the patch number, or the release number actually in my hands. So if you tell me I'm on 18.6.2, I know exactly which patch level you have. And very important to mention, a release update or a revision is only a patch. This is not a database upgrade. So when you apply, let's say 18.21 to 18.60, so you go from the revision 1 for the update to update 6, then you use OPatch. This is a patch, and patch means you do the testing you regularly do for patches, which usually is you try to apply the patch and you do a very basic application test, and that's it, but no extra performance testing or whatever. Whereas an upgrade means you go from 18.21 to 19.10, so you see the pattern already. When you change the first digit, the yearly digit, then you do an upgrade, and this upgrade is done with DB upgrade or CutCTLPL or the DBUA if you prefer the graphical tool. Now, quick timeline example about yearly releases, updates, and revisions. So first of all, we released 18.10. And then in April 2018, we released the update 18.20, the first update. In July, you'll find now 18.30, and this will be also the on-premises release actually. And you will find also at the same time the first revision, which is based on the April update, so it's 18.21. When we scroll now forward into the future in October, we get 18.40, we get 18.31, the first revision based on the July update, and we get 18.22, the second revision on the April update. And this is important now to mention, there won't be a third revision. So for a given update, you will see only 2 revisions maximum. So we scroll forward and forward into the future, January 2019, 18.50, 18.41, 18.32, and we may release also the new feature release, 19C, which then will be 19.10. And in April, you see the pattern, 18.6, 18.51, 18.42, and the first update for 19 It's called 19.2.0. It's also important to mention that for the production release, initial release, there won't be revisions available. So it will always require at least one additional available downloadable update, and then on top of this we build revisions. But for 18.1.0 and 19.1.0 there won't be any revisions. No 18.1.1 and no 19.1.1. When we scroll now a lot into the future and do a future projection, you see first of all this looks a bit complicated and a lot of variety. But the reason why I'm showing you that slide is when you put your eyes on the very right side, it says end patching or patching end 18C in July 2021. So let's say we released 18 on premises in July 2018, this year basically, which is 18.3.0. And I told you from this date on, we guarantee 2 years of Premiere support, bug fixing support for this release. So from July 2018, you go 2 years into the future, to the very right side of the slide. Then we end in July 2021 with the bug fixing support for 18. And this means also in July 2021, we release 18.15.0, we release 18.14.1 and 18.13.2, and that's it. So customers or colleagues ask me already, oh, will there be in October then an 18.14.2 or no? So it's really end, and that's it. The release where the projection would go far, far into the future will be the 19, because 19 is the long-term support release, but this actually doesn't fit very well in a PowerPoint slide. So what are the choices, what are the recommendations, and what do we recommend? So you could go forward and say, hey, I stay with the updates, so I do 18.2.0, 18.3.0, or maybe I skip 18.4.0, I go further with 18.5.0 and so on. Or you could also say, no, I decide I go with a revision at some point, and then I stay on revisions like 18.3.2, 18.4.2, and so on and so on. So this is just showing the possibilities in 2 examples. So you could go forward 18.3.0, then go with revisions, and then jump from 18.3.2 to 18.6.0. That is possible, and that's also good news. So you can change between release updates and revisions back and forth. That is easy doable. Or you could also stay, as I explained before, go to the revision track and then stay with revisions. So what you can't do is, you can't jump to the left side. Let's say you went from 18.3.0 to 18.4.2, which is doable, and then you can't go to 18.5.0. The simple reason is you would have had already the security and regression fixes from April, and now you would set back your environment to the security fixes of January, 3 months older, and we prevent that, we don't allow this. Technically it may be doable, but in the same Oracle home that's not allowed, and we try to block this as good as possible, because this would give you a much lower security state on your database environments. But you can go, of course, from 18.4.2 to 18.6.0, which would add now also the new regression and the new security fixes to your environment, plus also potentially new optimizer fixes you didn't have in your environment. So what do we recommend? Our recommendation is strictly go forward with updates. Honestly, this makes, first of all, your life much easier. It's less variety, and it minimizes the chance of encountering new bugs and security vulnerabilities. And also reduce the likelihood of requiring separate interim one-off patches or merge patches. So you strictly should go forward with this. And it's not only us, though. I read already some excellent blog posts, for instance, of Ludovico Caldara, recommending clearly go forward with updates. So it's not only us Oracle people saying this is a good way, it's a lot of external experts saying exactly the same thing. You should really only consider the revisions in a case where Oracle explicitly recommends them. So let's say the Exadata team decides, no, we want you to have on 18.4.2 because for whatever reason, then you may follow this advice. But in all other things, there is no real recommendation, you go forward with the updates. It will make your life much more easier. Now, when we talk about upgrading, how can you directly upgrade to Oracle 18c? So every release since 11.203 or newer will allow a direct upgrade. This is good news actually, so it could be 11.203, 11.204, 12.101, 12.102, 12.201 and so on. They're really straightforward. The only thing you should take into consideration is there may be a change with 19. So for Oracle upgrades to 19c, there may not be a direct upgrade from 11.203 and 12.101 anymore. The same slide applies, of course, to all patch levels. So it doesn't matter if you have bundle patch 7 or bundle patch April 2018 on your 11.204 or updates, revisions later on, you can upgrade straightforward. The same slide applies to downgrades with one exception. There is no multi-tenant downgrade to 12.101, but I doubt that anybody would like to downgrade a multi-tenant environment to 12.101. When will Oracle Database 18c be available on premises? This is already written down in the MOS notes 742060.1, our release strategy note, and it's expected to be available on-prem platforms, non-engineered systems with the July 2018 release update. So the question is, to which release should you update? What is your choice? What should you do? And let's put in a time marker. So as I'm recording the seminar now in July 2018, you see that for 11.204, we are already very close to the end of the waived extended support period. So it's just less than half a year actually to go until end of this year. And also in 12.102, we left already the Premier support end of June. We are now in waived extended support period already. 12.201 is available, and Oracle 18 will become available on premises platforms pretty soon. So my recommendation would be for 11.2 releases, you should step forward either to 12.201 if you have started your testing already, or to 18 as soon as 18 is available, but hurry up unless you would like to go into a period of paid extended support. For 12.102, the choice is a bit harder. If you haven't started your testing yet, you may consider Oracle 18, or you may want to wait until Oracle 19, but this will be a very short period of time of overlap actually, because Oracle 19, let's say we keep the same pattern and release it with the second update, which will be July 2019, then this is exactly the time when Oracle 12.102 will go out of waived extended support. So you may consider going now into Oracle 18 and then go forward to 19 later on, or to another release afterwards. Finally, some further information, the most important links and my Oracle support notes here. And first of all, you'll find a lot of information on the upgrade blog already on https://MikeDietrichDE.com. So when you type in release update or RU on the search window on the right side of the blog, then you'll find already a lot of blog posts. What's really important and quite helpful is the assistant to download the patches. So don't search yourself to death. Just go to this assistant and say, I would like to have this bundle patch or this release update for 12.201 or 18, and then you get a list. The reason why you see here non-quarterly patches is sometimes we release for Exadata only on the first year non-quarterly updates, and you should ignore them if you are not on an engineered system. So this is only meant for Exadata customers. All others, only the quarterly patch bundles are the ones you should take into consideration. Then the most important notes: release schedule of the current database release 742060.1. This is really the source of truth. So that is important to note. Whenever you have a question, how long is anything supported or what is expected there, you'll find it in here. Then there's a release update introduction and FAQ. And very important, the list of fixes included in the release update. for the database, the first node, and for grid infrastructure, the second one. Then a master node for the database proactive patch program. The overview of patch delivery methods for 12.102 and lower and for 12.201 and greater. And this is also two very important nodes because they describe clearly the contents of the patch bundles and they give also testing recommendations. So we tell you what we test in Oracle and we give you a recommendation what you should test when you apply such a patch bundle. And then again, the assistant for download. So you can get these slides already if you want. So it's slide download on MikeDietrichDE.com on the upgrade blog. You click here on the second marker, marked in red here, slides, and then you scroll down a bit, and there you find the release model, the new release, and the patching model slide deck with a bit more slides than I showed you now. And if you have questions, you can always come back either via email or via the blog, whatever works best for you. Twitter, direct messages, only thing, email is a good way actually because you get an auto reply if I'm not available, but all the other communication channels of course work as well. So thanks for your time, thanks for your attention. My name is Mike Dietrich and I wanted to explain you a little bit more about the new release and patching model, and thank you for your time. Goodbye.